What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and today we got the news we've been waiting for when it comes to collaborations. That's right, Octopath Traveler is here, and I'm pretty excited about it. We got Olberic, we got Primrose, we have a few of the other gang as well, but those are going to be our two 5-star bases, so let's get into it. So here we are in the news section, and I'm gonna be honest, they only put two things in. I guess they put three. They put maintenance in there, but other than that, they've only put two, which means we should be getting a lot more news, hopefully tomorrow. It is Tuesday, but sometimes things get delayed. I think more so over, it's more like the thing I expect when we have you know, a collab going on, because there's all this stuff you got to make sure it's okay with, you know, the creators of Octopath Traveler, XYZ. There's so much more check marks you have to go through than when you just have your own FFBE characters. So first up, let's look at the raid. It is going to be Octopath Traveler Cross Final Fantasy Brave Exvius Brigand's Den. I do believe this is the beginning. Now, okay, listen, I have not played it in a long time, but this is the beginning of Oberek's story, I think, right? When he's going to try to find the kid at the very beginning. Hopefully I'm right on that. This is a big bad guy you got to fight off. You can go down through here. It's gonna be a raid event. So you're gonna go in, be able to craft limited time gear as it says, get some rewards through the raid. We're having a lot of different things where we have to grind coins and trade them in, aren't we, right now? That's what it feels like. But do not miss out on Octopath Dagger, Attack 62. We don't really care about that. What we care about is boost light resist by 20%. It's gonna be pretty big, right? 20% on a weapon. A lot of the time you're trying to mix and match, you know, make all these resistances as high as they need to be. This is going to help you get there, and you can put high tide on it. So it's a great addition to any kind of support unit if you can get high tide on there. The Octopath Spear, a little bit less than that. You know, 98 just attack, defense 10%. Nothing too special about that, sadly. I did look through here to see if we were getting any limited time tickets, or if they said anything like that, and I don't see them in any pictures. I don't see them in anything down here. Now, I could be wrong, guys, so I'm looking at you. If you guys see anywhere where it shows that limited time ticket, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, it's going to be this ticket right here. In the raid, let me know, because we're going to talk about why I think they have to be somewhere here in a minute. Maybe they're in bundles, actually. Anyway, we had the Octopath Traveler banner coming out, and a lot of you guys have been waiting on it. Oberek is my man. He's my favorite one. He's going to be a tank, kind of damage-dealing, next-level physical damage tank that comes out. We have Primrose, which is going to be a support, because she is a dancer. We have Therion, which is going to be, I do believe, a thief. And then we have Tressa here, she's going to be 3-star base. So if you guys are missing any of your favorite characters, I'm sorry. And also, if you really like Therion, or you like Tressa, and they're down there in the 4-star to 3-star base range, hey, at least you can get them, right? They're not going to be the best in the world, but you can get them. So, again, they are limited time units, so you're not going to be able to UOC them, and they will go away after the banner comes up. They are going to be giving away these limited time tickets, so once you get up to 5 of them, you could exchange for either a Primrose or an Olberic, which is great. And moving on down, this is the step up, okay? You can only do it 3 times per player, which I think is very strange. And it's going to cost you, what is this going to cost us? 21k Lapis, okay? As we go through the steps, nothing really too crazy here, except for they take the rainbow and they take it from the 3rd step to the 4th step, but I think it's strictly because they just lowered the cost of these through here, maybe is why they did it. Unsure. Doesn't really matter to me most of the time. If you're spinning on a step up banner and you're going up to like step 3, you better be finishing the banner anyway. Like, that's just because the best one's at the end, right? I know it's like, anyway, that's just the way I feel. Like, don't even start a step up if you can't finish it. Don't start something you can't finish. Anyway, so we're going to be able to get 3 of these limited time tickets, and it looks like we can do this 3 times, so that's going to be 9 tickets, okay? It takes 5 to trade in, so where there has to be at least another ticket somewhere, right? And maybe my gorilla math is off this morning. Maybe I woke up, and then I was like, yeah, dude, they're missing one of the tickets. What's up with that? But 3 times 3, I mean, you know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that's 9. Where is the other ticket? And at the end, you could get an Olberic or you could get a Primrose. Moving on, let's talk about Olberic and Primrose, okay? So I was pretty sure they're going to get global upgrades. I'm going to be honest. I feel like every banner coming out, unless it's extremely hype, is getting global upgrades, just to entice people to pull a little bit more, just to, because our meta is different, I guess, and just pretty much, I think they're trying to get your wallets out is what I think they're doing. So looking at the global upgrades for Olberic, Olberic is a 5-star base going up to 7-star, going to be a tank. He is going to be probably the best tank in global when he does come out, physical tank. He is going to be kind of a damage dealing tank. He has a lot of abilities that are based off of defensive scaling, but the one thing, before we go over Olberic, the one thing that's holding me back from just going ham on Olberic is that we have 2 more physical damage dealing tanks that will be coming out, or physical damage taking tanks, I guess just physical tanks, coming out, I wouldn't say in the near future, but you know, relatively near, and they're both going to be amazing. We have CG Warrior of Light, and then we have Galuf. So we're going to have Galuf, and Galuf is an amazing physical tank as well, and he shouldn't be that far down the line from when we get Olberic. So I think I'm going to hold back on Olberic because of that. Maybe go for Galuf and then have Warrior of Light as well if I'd like something like that. Although Olberic is amazing in his own right, okay? Moving on down, we do have a Super Trustmaster reward, and it has been buffed up a little bit. We have Oberek Surcoat, HP 1000, Defense 62, Spirit 55. Enables Oberek Surcoat, boost HP by 10%, attack and defense by 20%. So it's pretty cool. The reason I say it's only pretty cool is because on most big daddy tanks you're trying to build, you want that heavy armor on and not this light armor. A lot of the things do trigger off heavy armor as opposed to light armor, but sometimes they trigger to both. So it's not something that I say go crazy for, especially as a limited time banner, but it is pretty cool, right? And if you get it, don't be like, it's crap. It is very good, but it's not something I want you guys going out there trying to summon for 4 Olberic for. It's something like that. But his TMR is actually an amazing TMR. Wandering Warrior, boost HP by 40%, defense and spirit by 20%, nullify paralysis. Now, this is a TMR I do believe you guys may be wanting to use your Trust Moogle Prisms on. And again, the way your Trust Moogle Prisms work is you have your Prism here that doesn't have any, you know, it's blank. You guys go do the raid summons. You guys get Olberic's Wandering Warrior TMR Moogle, put it in there, and the thing becomes a Prism for the Wandering Warrior. And then you just feed it a bunch of TMR Moogles from the raid, and bada bing, bada boom, you get his TMR. And I think it's good enough for you guys to be able to go in there and work with that. So, looking down through his abilities, I'm just going to tell you guys how Olberic works. Essentially, Olberic is going to be a physical AoE cover tank, can provoke as well, has an LB. This is the big thing about Olberic. So remember with CG Charlotte, how CG Charlotte would have an LB where she would cover everybody and then also put mitigation up on everyone. So it's just mitigation. Remember that mitigation, so when it says damage mitigation, it stacks with magic mitigation, it stacks with defensive mitigation, and it stacks with guard. So, you know, having all those together makes you extremely tanky. Well, Olberic is bringing that to you via a physical damage AoE tank. So his limit burst, similar to Charlotte, is going to be for physical, though. He's going to cover physical attacks and also put up 40%, I do believe, damage mitigation, overall general mitigation to everyone. So that's going to be extremely powerful. On top of that, he does have a lot of abilities where he can hit back and do things, damage scaling off of his defense, so he can do a little bit more defense damage. So that's pretty much where he's going to be, Olberic. And I know a lot of people are like, well, that seems like, what do you mean that's so good? Dude, I'm telling you, man, 40% damage mitigation on your AoE cover tank's LB, where you can just be casting it all the time, is insane. You stack that with your Sylvie, he puts up, like, I think, it's either 20 or 30% mitigation of physical and magic. So those stack up. Everybody's taking little and no damage. You start surviving stuff. You start living. It's pretty great. Or you use pod and do the pod physical damage mitigation. It's really good. And that's why I think Olberic has his place, especially as, being like a damage dealing tank, because he does buff up his attack a lot and go in and swing around. But again, I don't think he is as good as the Galuf or the CG Warrior of Light that come down the line, and Galuf should be soon, like in the month or two. So that's where I'm kind of struggling. I'm gonna have to look at it and think about it myself, and you guys will have to do so as well if you guys are looking to upgrade your tank. Looking at Primrose, Primrose is amazing in the game. This is how I did my storyline. I swear, I did Olberic's, and then I went straight to Primrose. So there we go, bada bing, bada boom. 2 favorite characters ready to get in there. They do have global upgrades for Primrose. Primrose is going to be a buffer and a kind of an offensive buffer as opposed to being a defensive one. She does have defensive ways of buffing, but I think she more so is in the line of making your team be a little bit stronger via killer abilities she can give them, imbuing, imperiling, etc., to make sure you can go on the offensive. Whereas Sylvie, she really wants to stay on the defensive and heal up, okay? And make sure you don't die entirely. Super Trust Mastery reward, we have Faith Shall Be My Shield, boost magic by 30% and spirit, by 60%, and escape death one time when HP is above a certain point. So this is going to be a material where you can slap it on one of your support units, maybe even a mage with a 30% magic, and you can survive death, right? Like if you were going to die, boom, you don't die, you stay up, you guts it out, you're not going to die. And then, like we've talked about before, it will reset if you die. So let's say I survived, next turn, re-raise, come back to life, it's back again, you can't die. So it's really good for that use, right? It makes a unit really hard to kill, kind of like Tsukiko has a lot of ways to live, our latest mage we just got. So it's pretty good, but again, I don't think it's something you have to foam with the teeth and go after, and I know a lot of people out there are going to be going after Primrose, so that's the use I see for it. It doesn't have the biggest stats on it, doesn't have any elemental resist, but if a unit would die, it's very easy to keep that unit from dying over and over and over again because of the I guts, re-raised, I guts again, re-raised, you know what I mean? So it kind of gives you a turn leeway. Looking at the Trust Mastery reward, we have Primrose's Necklace, defense 16, spirit 40, so a high spirit stat, Nullify Stone, which is one of the great ones out there we need to deal with. Enable Primrose's Necklace, boost spirit by 40%. So pretty strong TMR as well. I would consider possibly looking into this with another TMR Moogle Prism. I don't think it's, in my opinion, I don't think it's as good as, let's say, I don't know, it's tough. I don't think it's as good as Olberic's. I just don't think so. However, if you do want to use it on, same thing. Have your empty prism, get that TMR Moogle from the raid, and feed him into there until out pops Primrose's Necklace. Okay, talking about Primrose. Primrose has the ability to imbue dark, and then also imperil dark. Primrose has the ability to buff up a certain defense, maybe a spirit, maybe an attack, maybe a magic, while also being able to put up maybe a killer ability for a certain family. So 20% killers for magic and physical to, the team. Primrose is getting an upgrade in Global where she can do all of that triple the time. So 3 times in 1 turn. When I looked, okay, so I haven't looked at Primrose this whole time, but I heard that Primrose is like the cream of the crop. When she comes out, everybody wanted her in JP. She was awesome support. She has mitigation. She has the general mitigation, right? That we were just talking about that Oberek or CG Charlotte bring. And there are a ton of units that do it, but she brings that in her kit as well. Her LB is great. Cast your LB when it's fully maxed, 200% attack to everybody, attack, defense, magic, and spirit, 200% up by 5 turns, giving you guys some great stuff like that. But the problem in Global is we have Sylvie, right? And I'm not saying that Primrose doesn't have her spot when you have Sylvie, but I know a lot of people out there do have Sylvie. And Sylvie, Primrose's biggest problem is she doesn't have elemental coverage. From what I've looked in the kit, she can cover dark, she can give you dark resist, but she doesn't cover any of the other elements. So Primrose, again, like I said, is more an offensive. Like, she's going to buff up all your stats. She's going to give everybody killers. She's going to buff everybody's, I think it's normally 130. Like, you can buff attack by 130, but then if you use a CD ability, it'll boost that up to 160, and I think it's killers 20%, and they go up to 40%. So she can buff you guys up pretty high, and then you can get in there and kill. But if anybody's hitting you with, it's hard for me to say that, I guess, because of the general mitigation, but a lot of people are out there are going to have CG Charlotte. Maybe they're going for Olberic, and they don't stack, right? General mitigation doesn't stack, so one of them is going to take over. So it's kind of a negative point for Primrose if you end up using that elsewhere on your team. I guess you could say the same for Sylvie, but Sylvie also breaks. It goes back and forth, right? So if you have Sylvie, I don't see you needing to go for Primrose. And I'm sorry for all the Primrose fans out there. I myself was somewhat disappointed when I looked at her kit. The ability to imbue and then imperil dark would be in very big handy, allowing her to, enable your team and allow them to do damage. But I don't know. And also, I'm spitting out all these things about the JP version of Primrose, besides the triple cast. We are going to have to wait. I know Global's adding another ability where she does all this stuff randomly, but we're going to have to see what exactly the stats are. It's like, when you cast this, one of these random things happen. Well, they better all be amazing, or it's going to be tough, you know what I mean? You don't like random in FFBE. So I want to hold off on Primrose. I'm giving you my initial thoughts before the global upgrades, so you guys know where I'm going in before we go with the global upgrades, and how I'm going to fill with her. So moving on down after that, we do have Therion. He is going to be a attack debuffer. Looking at his Trust Mastery reward, Therion Scarf. This is going to give you guys evasion in physical attacks and decreased chance of being targeted. So I know a lot of people out there were worried about, decreased chance of being targeted. You don't want to put this on a tank. That's going to make them not be able to get hit. Actually, it checks ahead of time. It checks for 100% provoke beforehand, and then it will check the decreased chance of being targeted. So if you have 100% provoke, won't minus it. It won't cancel it out. You're going to be able to put this on a tank if you'd like. And I think the physical evasion is 20%. So it's up to you if you want to use this or another evasion item. This is an option for you guys if you need to, and you're going to be able to pick up the Trust Moogles from the raid. Moving on down, I'm going to go look at Tressa. She's coming out here. Again, all these things are getting global upgrades, so who knows what exactly they're going to turn out to be. Dreams of the Wider World. Boost attack and magic by 20% and boost experience obtained from battle. So if you're still out there not having enough of those Cactuar, if you're still battling, you're still using units in battle to level them up, this is an option for you. Other than that, kind of a passerby, or we're not too worried about that for us. So overall, again, it's going to be tough for me. Like, I can see uses for Primrose in my kit, and I have a lot of units, and I can see uses for Olberic. However, do I see enough uses to be chasing after a limited time 7-star, where maybe because you can't UOC him, maybe Prisons comes out later down the road, we don't know. I'm not sure yet. We're definitely going to have to wait and see how the global upgrades go with them. Another thing I'm looking forward to this week is, we're about to run out of time in this month, meaning our global upgrades to our global units better come out, and Kryla better be OP, all right? I'm looking for Kryla stuff. I'm sure that'll be out tomorrow, and maybe they'll have a trial, who knows? But there has to be more news than these 3 things. There's no way that's happening. At least I don't think so. You guys can let me know how you feel. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you feel about these 2 units, and Olberic and Primrose, and if you're going to be pulling, or you're waiting to see what the global chances are. Everybody should be doing that, but, your initial thoughts like I gave. And then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.